You read the title. He's a short guide to every Roman emperor, from Augustus to Theodosius, in 60 seconds or less. Part 1, Pax Romana. 1. Augustus. Augustus/Octavian was Rome's first and greatest emperor, laying the foundation for the Principate. Octavian came from a wealthy family and was also the nephew of one Gaius Julius Caesar, who was not an emperor. After Caesar's assassination, Octavian would rise in power, forming a triumvirate with Caesar's comrades Mark Antony and Lepidus. Lepidus would get kicked out of the group, leaving Octavian and Antony to duke it out for master of Rome. Antony got the help of Cleopatra in Egypt, but they were defeated by Octavian and Actium, who proceeded to annex Egypt for Rome. With that, he was given the name Augustus. As emperor, Augustus would limit the power of the Senate, divide the empire into provinces, which would make governing easier, reform the army, and establish a Praetorian Guard, which may or may not have ruined Rome. His reign also saw military expansion with the conquest of Hispania, Raetia, Noricum, Illyricum, Dalmatia, Pannonia, and parts of Africa, but he failed to conquer Germania due to the defeat at Tannenberg Forest. Augustus then got ill and all his heirs died before him, so he chose his adopted son Tiberius. Augustus died in 1480 from some sort of illness, with his reign seeing the beginning of Pax Romana. 2. Tiberius. Tiberius was Rome's second emperor. He's the son of Livia, Augustus' second wife. Tiberius was a skilled general commanding in Germania and Illyria. Tiberius became emperor following Augustus' death, sharing power with the Senate. Instead of spending a lot of money on military campaigns, Tiberius chose to strengthen the empire as it was, resulting in a stronger empire and more money in the treasury. In 16, General Germanicus would avenge the defeat at Teutoburg, but then he suddenly died in Egypt. In 27, Tiberius got sick and went to the island of Capri, leaving Praetorian prefect Sejanus to run the empire. Sejanus was an ambitious man who wanted to be emperor, so Tiberius executed him in 31. Tiberius became very paranoid in his last few years, and so began to have treason trials on family members and others, executing them. Tiberius died in 31 from natural causes. 3. Caligula. One of the most famous emperors, Caligula was known for his insanity. He was the son of Germanicus and was named after Julius Caesar. He accompanied Papa in his Germanic campaigns, where the soldiers call him Caligula, meaning little sandals. Caligula lived with Tiberius in Capri after Tiberius exiled Caligula's family. Caligula would succeed the former after his death. Caligula's reign actually started out pretty good, with him being a fan favorite throughout the empire and hosting lavish games. He even annexed Mauritania. Then 7 months later, Caligula became ill and went insane, seeing himself as a god. He had his own treason trials and wanted to make a source of council, though this is likely a myth. His execution of governors also caused many provinces into open rebellion. He then launched campaigns against Germania and Britain for no apparent reason. In 41, everyone hates Caligula and a conspiracy forms, leading to the Praetorian Guards assassinating Caligula. 4. Claudius. Claudius was the fourth Roman emperor, the best since Augustus, in my opinion. With the assassination of an emperor, the Senate wanted to restore the republic, while the soldiers wanted to keep the Principate, so they chose Caligula's uncle Claudius. He was a physically weak man, so he was ignored by literally everyone. The guards chose Claudius because they thought he would be a weak puppet, but he turned out to be an effective administrator. Claudius developed a central administration where freemen were included, expanded, and consolidated the empire. His reign saw the military conquest of Britain and Lycia, while also putting down the revolts in Mauritania, Thrace, and Judea. Claudius built new things as well, including roads, aqueducts, and canals. Claudius's main problem was that he allowed himself to be controlled by his wives, Messalina and Agrippina, with the latter poisoning Claudius. She then dismissed Claudius's son from power in favor of her own son, Nero. 5. Nero. Nero was the last emperor of the Julio-Claudian dynasty. He was the son of Agrippina and was then adopted by Claudius at 11. Nero became emperor after Claudius's death, however his mother ruled for him. Nero's reign started out good, with the banning of capital punishment and reduced taxes. He hosted lavish games, which cost the empire a lot of money. Nero wanted to rule independently from his mother, so he did the only logical thing to do, kill his mother. It all went downhill after the death of his mother. He killed his two wives, married a slave, killed rich people to get money after he spent it all on games, and persecuted Christians. Nero blamed the Christians for the fire of Rome, which burned 3/4 of the city in 64. In terms of military affairs, the revolt by Boudicca was stopped and the Jewish revolt began. In 68, General Galba and Vindex revolted against Nero. He was then made enemy of the state by the Senate. Nero fled and killed himself, ending the Julio-Claudian dynasty. Part 2, coming soon.